Jazz, a word that conjures images of smoky nightclubs, the clinking of glasses, and a symphony of sound flowing from the souls of musicians. Born in New Orleans, where African rhythms met European harmonies. Jazz is more than music. It's a feeling, a story. It speaks of joy, sorrow, struggle, and triumph. Jazz is about improvisation, freedom, and pushing boundaries, the soul of America captivating and inspiring generations. Jazz is a journey, a sonic exploration that takes you on a roller coaster of emotions. From the mournful wail of the saxophone to the joyful syncopation of the piano, every instrument tells a story. The trumpet soars with a triumphant cry, while the drums lay down a steady beat that anchors the music and keeps it grounded. The bass walks a delicate line between melody and rhythm, providing a foundation for the other instruments to build upon. And then, there's the voice, the human voice that can soar like an eagle or whisper like the wind. Jazz vocals are as diverse as the music itself, ranging from the soulful crooning of Billie Holiday to the scatting virtuosity of Ella Fitzgerald. Each note, each phrase, is infused with emotion, drawing the listener into the heart of the music. Jazz is a journey through the history of America, reflecting the joys and sorrows of a nation. From the bluesy lamentations of the Deep South to the frenetic energy of the Roaring Twenties, jazz has captured the essence of each era. It's a living history lesson, a reminder of where we've been and where we're going. The heart of jazz beats strongest in the intimate setting of the jazz club. Here, in dimly lit rooms with walls adorned with the echoes of countless performances, musicians and audiences connect on a deeper level. The air crackles with anticipation as the band takes the stage, instruments gleaming under the soft glow of stage lights. The audience hushes, leaning forward in their seats, eager to be transported by the music. In this intimate setting, the lines between performer and spectator blur. The music becomes a shared experience, a conversation that flows back and forth between the stage and the audience. A nod of appreciation from a listener, a spontaneous round of applause after a particularly impressive solo. These moments of connection fuel the music and create an electric atmosphere. It's in these clubs, often tucked away on side streets and in the hearts of cities, that jazz thrives. They are the incubators of talent, the proving grounds for aspiring musicians, and the sacred spaces where the legacy of jazz is passed down from one generation to the next. From the early days of New Orleans jazz to the bebop revolution and beyond, jazz has always been about pushing boundaries and exploring new sonic territories. It's a music that thrives on innovation, blending traditional forms with modern influences. Each generation adds unique voices and perspectives to the ever-evolving tapestry of jazz. The spirit of innovation is alive and well in jazz clubs around the world today. This is the legacy of jazz, built on creativity, freedom, and boundless possibilities. In the heart of New York City, nestled amongst the bustling streets of Greenwich Village, lies a basement that has become synonymous with jazz itself, the Village Vanguard. This legendary club, a dimly lit, triangular space with a capacity of just over 100, has played host to some of the greatest names in jazz history, from John Coltrane to Miles Davis, Bill Evans to Sonny Rollins. Since its opening in 1935, the Vanguard has been a beacon for jazz musicians and enthusiasts alike, a place where the music is paramount and the atmosphere is electric. Unlike larger concert halls, the Vanguard offers an intimacy that is almost tangible. The stage, barely raised above the floor, places the musicians within arm's reach of the audience, creating a sense of shared experience that is both immediate and profound. Here, every note, every improvisation, every breath taken by the musicians is felt with an intensity rarely found in larger venues. The acoustics of the room, often described as near perfect, further enhance this intimacy, enveloping the listener in a warm, resonant soundscape. The Village Vanguard is more than just a jazz club. It's a living testament to the enduring power of this uniquely American art form. For over 80 years, it has stood as a bastion of jazz tradition, a place where the music's rich history is not just celebrated but lived and breathed every night. From the moment you descend the steep stairs into the dimly lit club, you're transported back in time to an era when jazz was the soundtrack of urban America. The club's decor, largely unchanged since its inception, further reinforces this sense of history. The walls, adorned with photographs of jazz legends who have graced its stage, serve as a visual reminder of the Vanguard's rich legacy. Each picture tells a story, capturing a moment in time when these musical giants shared their gifts with the world. The worn wooden tables and chairs, the red checkered tablecloths, the dimly lit stage, all contribute to the Vanguard's timeless atmosphere, an atmosphere that has remained largely unchanged for generations. What truly sets the Village Vanguard apart is its unwavering commitment to presenting jazz in its purest form. There are no distractions here, no elaborate light shows or pyrotechnics, just the raw, unadulterated sound of musicians at the top of their game, pouring their hearts and souls into every note. The audience, too, plays a crucial role in creating the unique atmosphere of the Vanguard. Jazz audiences are known for their attentiveness, their respect for the music and the artists who create it. At the Vanguard, this reverence is palpable. The silence between songs is as profound as the music itself, a testament to the audience's deep engagement with the performance unfolding before them. It's this shared love of jazz, this unspoken bond between musicians and listeners, that makes the Village Vanguard such a special place. The walls of the Village Vanguard could tell 1,000 stories. They have borne witness to countless legendary performances, from John Coltrane's groundbreaking residency in the early 1960s, to Bill Evans's introspective piano solos that seemed to hang in the air long after the last note had faded. The ghosts of jazz giants still seem to linger in the air, their presence felt in the echoes of their music that seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves. To stand on the stage of the Village Vanguard is to step into a hallowed space, a space where the history of jazz is not just remembered but kept alive. It's a humbling experience for any musician, a reminder of the rich legacy they are now a part of. And for the audience to witness a performance at the Vanguard is to experience jazz in its most authentic and visceral form. The Village Vanguard is not content to rest on its laurels, however. While it remains a shrine to the giants of jazz history, it is also a vital platform for the next generation of jazz musicians. Every night, young up-and-coming artists take to the stage, eager to prove themselves in this hallowed space. The Vanguard provides a unique opportunity for these emerging artists to hone their craft, to learn from the masters who came before them, and to connect with a discerning audience that appreciates the nuances and complexities of jazz. In this way, the Village Vanguard ensures that the legacy of jazz continues to thrive, passed down from one generation to the next in an unbroken chain of creativity and innovation. The future of jazz is safe in the hands of venues like the Village Vanguard, venues that understand the importance of preserving tradition while also embracing the future. The stage lights dim, a hush falls over the audience, and a single spotlight illuminates the figure of a man in his early 30s. This is Marcus Johnson, a saxophonist who embodies the heart and soul of jazz. Born and raised in the vibrant neighborhood of Harlem, New York City, Marcus's journey into the world of music began at an early age. The streets of his childhood were alive with rhythm and melody. From the street corner buskers to the soulful sounds emanating from the Apollo Theater, music, it seemed, was in the very air he breathed. His family, though not musicians themselves, recognized his innate talent and nurtured his passion. His grandmother, a woman with a heart as big as the city itself, scrimped and saved to buy him his first saxophone, a battered but beloved instrument that became his constant companion. From the moment he blew his first tentative notes, it was clear that Marcus had found his calling. The saxophone became an extension of himself, a voice through which he could express the full spectrum of human emotion. Marcus's early musical education was a tapestry woven from diverse threads. He absorbed the sounds of his neighborhood, from the gospel music that filled the churches to the bebop rhythms that echoed from the jazz clubs. He devoured the music of saxophone legends like Charlie Parker, John Coltrane, and Cannonball Adderley, their virtuosity both inspiring and daunting. He spent countless hours practicing, honing his technique, his fingers flying over the keys with increasing speed and precision. But for Marcus, technique was never merely a means to an end. He understood that true artistry lay in the ability to transcend the technical and tap into something deeper, something that spoke to the soul. He sought to emulate his heroes not by imitating their every note, but by capturing the spirit, the raw emotion that infused their music. He sought to tell his own stories, to paint his own sonic landscapes, using the saxophone as his brush and the world as his canvas. As Marcus matured as a musician, so too did his musical voice. He embraced the complexities of bebop, the genre's lightning-fast tempos and intricate chord changes pushing him to the limits of his abilities. But he also felt a deep connection to the soulful melodies of blues and gospel, genres that spoke to the joys and sorrows of everyday life. He began to incorporate these influences into his playing, creating a unique style that was both technically brilliant and emotionally resonant. His solos, often described as conversations with his instrument, were a whirlwind of ideas, a seamless blend of fiery runs, soulful bends, and unexpected melodic twists and turns. He could make the saxophone sing, cry, and shout, often within the span of a single phrase. His music was a reflection of his own life experiences, of the joys and sorrows, the triumphs and setbacks that had shaped him as both a musician and a man. It is in the realm of improvisation where Marcus truly shines. For him, improvisation is not merely about playing random notes, it's about tapping into a stream of consciousness, allowing the music to flow through him in an unfiltered torrent of sound. He approaches each performance with a sense of adventure, never knowing exactly where the music will take him, but trusting in his instincts and his deep well of musical knowledge. His bandmates, a tight-knit group of seasoned musicians who have played with him for years, provide the perfect foil for his improvisations. They listen intently, anticipating his every move, their own playing both supportive and challenging. Theirs is a true musical conversation, a dialogue between equals that pushes each musician to new heights. The result is a spontaneous creation, a unique and ephemeral work of art that exists only in the moment it is played. But for all his technical mastery and improvisational prowess, Marcus never loses sight of the most important element of music: its ability to connect with an audience on an emotional level. He understands that music is a form of communication, a way of sharing stories and emotions that transcend language. When he plays, his eyes often close, lost in the music. He is not just playing for himself, he is playing for every person in the room. He wants them to feel something, to be moved by the music in a way that words cannot express. And judging by the rapt attention of the audience at the Village Vanguard, he is succeeding. As the last notes of Marcus Johnson's saxophone solo fade into the smoky air of the Village Vanguard, the spotlight shifts to a woman seated gracefully at a grand piano. This is Eleanor Vance, a pianist and vocalist whose music weaves together the threads of jazz, blues, and soul into a tapestry of sound that is both timeless and utterly captivating. Her journey, like the music she creates, is a testament to the power of perseverance, passion, and the enduring spirit of the blues. Eleanor's story begins in the Mississippi Delta, the cradle of the blues. Growing up in a small town where music was a constant presence, she absorbed the sounds of her heritage, the raw emotion of the blues seeping into her very soul. Her grandfather, a bluesman who had played with some of the greats, recognized her musical potential early on and became her first teacher. He taught her not just the notes on the page, but the stories behind the music, the pain and joy, the struggle and resilience that gave the blues its enduring power. The piano, a gift from her grandfather when she was just 6 years old, became Eleanor's constant companion. Its 88 keys were her gateway to a world of sound, a world where she could express the full range of her emotions. As she grew older, her natural talent became undeniable. They scraped together enough money to send her to the local music school, where she excelled in her classical training. Eleanor's musical journey took a pivotal turn when she moved to New York City to attend the prestigious Juilliard School. She immersed herself in the vibrant jazz scene, frequenting clubs like the Village Vanguard, where she witnessed firsthand the improvisational brilliance of legends like Bill Evans and McCoy Tyner. She began to incorporate elements of jazz harmony and rhythm into her own playing, her classical training providing a solid foundation upon which she could build her own unique style. Eleanor's music is a testament to the power of storytelling through sound. Her compositions, often inspired by her own life experiences and the rich tapestry of African American history, weave together elements of jazz, blues, and soul into a seamless whole. Her singing, like her piano playing, is infused with the spirit of the blues, her voice capable of expressing both heartache and hope, vulnerability and strength. But it's not just Eleanor's technical mastery or her soulful voice that makes her such a captivating performer. When she sits down at the piano, she exudes a warmth and charisma that immediately draws the audience in. In those moments, the boundaries between performer and audience seem to dissolve and the music becomes a shared experience, a journey of the heart and soul. The Village Vanguard is more than just a backdrop for Marcus and Eleanor's musical artistry. It's an integral part of their performance. The club's intimate setting, steeped in history and echoing with the ghosts of jazz legends past, creates an atmosphere unlike any other. The audience, a mix of seasoned jazz aficionados and curious newcomers, is united by a shared love of the music, a desire to be transported by the artistry unfolding before them. The Vanguard's legendary acoustics play a crucial role in shaping the sound of each performance. Every note, every nuance of phrasing, every subtle improvisation is amplified and enriched by the room's unique sonic properties. For Marcus, the Vanguard's acoustics are an extension of his saxophone, allowing him to explore the full range of his instrument's sonic palette. The room's acoustics allow her to coax a kaleidoscope of sounds from the instrument, from delicate crystalline melodies to thunderous room-shaking chords. The intimacy of the Vanguard fosters a level of connection between musician and listener that is rare in larger venues. Marcus feeds off the energy of the audience, their rapt attention fueling his improvisations. Eleanor too senses the energy of the room, her fingers dancing over the keys with a newfound intensity. The presence of jazz history is palpable within the Vanguard's walls. Marcus and Eleanor, though artists of the present, are acutely aware of the giants who came before them, their music both a tribute to the past and a testament to the enduring power of jazz. For Marcus, playing at the Vanguard is both an honor and a responsibility. Eleanor too feels the weight of history upon her shoulders, but she also recognizes the importance of forging her own path. As the night draws to a close, the final notes of Eleanor's encore echoing into the silence, a sense of magic lingers in the air. For those present, this has been more than just a concert, it has been an experience, a journey into the heart and soul of jazz. As long as the doors of the Vanguard remain open, the spirit of jazz will continue to thrive, inspiring generations to come with its message of creativity, freedom, and the boundless possibilities of human expression. The air crackled with anticipation as Marcus Johnson and Eleanor Vance took the stage at the Village Vanguard, their presence radiating a quiet confidence that promised something special. This was not just another night of jazz standards, this was a night for the artists to showcase their own compositions, to bare their souls through the music that flowed from their hearts and minds. From the moment Marcus lifted his saxophone to his lips, the room was captivated. The audience, swept away by the sheer virtuosity of his performance, erupted in spontaneous applause, their cheers echoing through the intimate space. But it was Marcus's performance of his own composition, Harlem Nocturne, that truly showcased the depth and breadth of his artistry. Inspired by the sights and sounds of his childhood neighborhood, the piece was a sonic tapestry woven from threads of joy and sorrow, hope and resilience. The music ebbed and flowed, capturing the energy and vibrancy of city life. He poured his heart and soul into every note, his love for his community, his city, and his music shining through every phrase. Eleanor Vance, following Marcus's tour de force performance, graced the stage with a quiet dignity that commanded attention. Her original composition, Mississippi Moon, was a haunting ballad that paid homage to her Delta roots. The lyrics, sparse and evocative, painted a picture of longing and loss, of dreams deferred and hopes rekindled under the vast expanse of the southern sky. The audience, captivated by the raw emotion of her performance, sat in stunned silence, the only sound the occasional sniffle of a moved listener. The highlight of the evening, however, was the impromptu duet that unfolded between Marcus and Eleanor. As the final notes of Mississippi Moon faded into the silence, Marcus, without a word, stepped back onto the stage, his saxophone held loosely at his side. What followed was a musical conversation of breathtaking beauty and complexity. The audience, caught up in the magic of the moment, held their breath, their collective heartbeats seeming to synchronize with the rhythm of the music. As the final notes of the duet faded into the applause-filled room, there was a sense that something truly special had transpired. Marcus and Eleanor, through their individual artistry and their remarkable musical connection, had not only paid homage to the giants of jazz history, but had also added their own unique voices to the ever-evolving tapestry of the music. The Village Vanguard, once again, had served as the backdrop for a night of musical magic, its history-soaked walls bearing witness to the emergence of two artists destined for greatness. The future of jazz is not a destination but a journey, a continuous exploration of sound and emotion. A new generation of musicians, weaned on the classics but unafraid to experiment and push boundaries, is emerging, carrying the torch passed down by the giants who came before them. They are blending traditional forms with elements of hip-hop, electronic music, and world music, creating a sonic tapestry that is both familiar and refreshingly new. The tension between tradition and innovation has always been at the heart of jazz. The challenge for today's jazz musicians is not to choose between tradition and innovation, but to find a way to bridge the gap between the two. It's about finding the common ground between the timeless and the timely, between the familiar and the unexpected. Jazz, though born in America, has always been a music of the world. As the music has spread across the globe, it has been embraced by musicians from all walks of life, each culture adding its own unique flavors and interpretations to the mix. This cross-cultural pollination is enriching the music in countless ways, as musicians from different backgrounds bring their own unique perspectives and experiences to the table, expanding the sonic and emotional palette of jazz. The future of jazz is in the hands of musicians, audiences, and venues. As long as there are passionate artists, open-hearted audiences, and nurturing venues, jazz will thrive. Its spirit of creativity and freedom remains undimmed. As the final notes of each performance fade into the hushed reverence of the Village Vanguard, a profound truth lingers in the air. Jazz, far from being a relic of the past, is a living, breathing art form with a future as bright as its storied history. The energy that crackles between the musicians on stage, the palpable connection between artist and audience, the sheer joy of creation and improvisation, these are the hallmarks of a genre that continues to captivate and inspire generations. Jazz, born out of struggle and resilience, nurtured in the melting pot of American culture, has always been a music of the people, a reflection of the human experience in all its complexities. It's a music that speaks of joy and sorrow, of hope and despair, of the triumphs and tribulations that bind us together. It's a music that celebrates individuality while fostering a profound sense of community, a testament to the power of collaboration and the magic that happens when creative minds come together in pursuit of a common goal. Sanctuaries of sound, jazz clubs as cultural hubs. Jazz clubs like the Village Vanguard are more than just venues. They are sanctuaries of sound, sacred spaces where the music can be explored, celebrated, and passed down to future generations. They are cultural hubs, gathering places for artists and audiences alike, united by a shared love of improvisation, swing, and the bluesy heart of jazz. Within the intimate confines of these clubs, the lines between performer and listener blur. The music becomes a shared experience, a conversation that flows back and forth between the stage and the audience, fueled by the energy of the room and the unspoken connection that binds everyone present. It's in these intimate settings that the true spirit of jazz can be found, raw and unfiltered, a testament to the power of human creativity and the enduring allure of a genre that speaks to the soul. A legacy passed down, mentorship and the next generation. The future of jazz rests not only on the shoulders of the musicians who grace the stage today, but also on the mentors who guide the next generation of artists. The Village Vanguard, with its rich history and its commitment to showcasing both established masters and rising stars, serves as a vital link between jazz's past, present, and future. It's in these intimate settings that young musicians have the opportunity to learn from the masters, to hone their craft through observation and collaboration, to soak up the wisdom and experience that can only be gained through years of dedication to the music. This tradition of mentorship, passed down from one generation to the next, ensures that the flame of jazz continues to burn brightly, its legacy entrusted to those who will carry the torch forward. Jazz, a reflection of the human spirit. Jazz at its core is a reflection of the human spirit, a testament to our capacity for creativity, resilience, and the unwavering pursuit of beauty in the face of adversity. It's a music that was born out of struggle, shaped by the experiences of marginalized communities, and yet it has transcended its origins to become a global phenomenon, a universal language that speaks to people from all walks of life. In a world often defined by division and uncertainty, jazz offers a message of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can find solace, strength, and a profound sense of connection through the power of music. It's a music that celebrates our shared humanity, reminding us that despite our differences, we are all connected by the same basic emotions, the same longing for beauty, and the same need to express ourselves creatively. As you step out of the Village Vanguard and back into the bustling streets of New York City, the echoes of the music still ringing in your ears, you carry with you more than just a memory of a performance. You carry a sense of possibility, an understanding that the music you've just witnessed is not confined to the four walls of a club, but is part of a larger conversation, a journey that began over a century ago and continues to unfold with each passing note. Jazz is an invitation, a call to listen deeply, to embrace improvisation, and to find beauty in unexpected places. It's a reminder that the world is full of music, waiting to be discovered, if only we open our ears and our hearts to the possibilities. So, the next time you have the opportunity to experience jazz in its natural habitat, whether it's a smoky basement club or a sun-drenched street corner, accept the invitation. Step into the music, let it wash over you, and embark on a journey that will stay with you long after the final note has faded away.